was just a time of passing troubles.
Passing troubles? What's passing are the waves handed down from heaven by the Lord God and Lil. I've heard the next thing Gilgamesh wants to change is time itself.
How can he change the seasons of women? We shall outlive him. It's the worst of times to act capricious.
My vocation isn't strong enough to endure depression. What's the joy in an easy life if there aren't as many worshippers as couches? Don't preach to me about my career. Trouble is, I like too much what we all profess. I can't be content with mere gestures of what we're here for. Under Gilgamesh's yoke, clients of Inanna are as wilted as our sunstroke bulls and rams. Bonded marriage is better than watered-down religious life. If I could land at least some crippled smith, or leech who won't be drafted, or a boy with the enthusiasm not yet sweated out of him by godless labor, I'll earn my wrinkles spinning flax for an only child and half a man.
A hellish life is hell, and you'll make a sorry housewife. Domestic wool is frayed before it's woven, and you're mistaken if you think Inanna will bless desertion. Let's say you do squeeze out one live baby. You can't expect a sister for her when all the life around is kept barren by our conquering savior's lust for sacrilege.
Well, you sit by and watch Lil Amin weave herself a dole of bitterest humiliation. I'm tired of weeping for our own queen confined to tapestries, while some self-appointed Shah usurps the prerogatives of gods. For 7 years her moons have come and gone, and still she's our priest in name alone. Gilgamesh might as well have walled her up with bricks, but the raptor spindle isn't yet unwound. Soon he'll seize back the rod and ring. In fact, I just heard I don't mind the family way at all. But I'd like to get to really know a man. Maybe even one of Gilgamesh's cow-faced phalanges. But listen to this! You always listen to those hoaxes on ourselves. What kind of oracle can be brought to pass by gossip? You should have given up hope when Gilgamesh took the warhead off his axe and proclaimed himself our peacemaker. It appears that peace consists of a law and order that tampers with the language, doctors our numbers, and desecrates our calendar. Better be at war than have our unison deranged. No sacrifice by the rector will ever again raise my host against a willful king who's made him fix our planting by the sun. Gilgamesh's hideous obsessions darken the streets and regiment the waters.
Inanna will send us a champion, I'm telling you!
Oh, please, excuse me. I thought you were going to say the goddess herself. On second thought, would strike him dead. Oh, don't look up. The cat I should find again.
Our forbidden fruit off guard.
Well, if ain't the Baxter girls bewail their famine. Such a sad song was never heard.
Hello, my ladies. Are your coffers empty?
Did I hear hyenas yapping?
It's only the melting snowmen. From time to time they make attempts at speech.
They've forgotten that we saved their honor from the Elamites. Chivalry is but a trifle in this depraved witch birth.
We could cheer you up, belly bones.
No matter how long they study Uruk, these hillbillies will never be anything but unconscionable barbarians.
Unconscionable? Sounds like illegal woman talk.
Or one of the captain's words, we must be as uncouth as they say we are.
I could excuse simple ignorance, but not willful stupidity.
They can't tell cashmere from earthenware. Ridiculous chanticleers to strut the ramparts, crowing their smut.
They do seem hardly chaste, but maybe where they come from.
You must have a sweet tooth somewhere, little jailbait.
I don't dote on fungus, and I've never had a yent or albino-livered chalk-skinned turnkeys.
Oh. It's not by choice we're on penal duty. And you're mistaken if you think I'm white all over. Want to see, Miss Bigot?
Oh, I know about these parade ground sharks. They're shrimps in battle.
Perhaps they need a government. My grandmother said pioneers who only plow never learn to sow and reap.
I'd be happy to have the harvest of your tutoring.
It's only right that what is sworn should not be left unmended.
Gilgamesh would let me.
The bombastic hounds of Gilgamesh are yapping on the leash. Let's go before these feathered shuttlecocks work themselves into a lather and dribble out their curves.
There's always some battlegoer to sour a man's pearls.
You there. Don't scowl.
I never said I hated them.
The bluster of slave drivers doesn't faze me, but Our Lady will preserve us from this lewd insolence. Come on, Joe.
Oh, I like the way she walks. A man should be allowed to measure his place for women they get to know. You know, kids and all.
At it again, yard birds. Fall in. Let them sing about their laws, clip the doxies tooth and claw, stitch their backbones to the mat, make them purr like pussycat. You cherry pickers have nothing to gripe about. In my day, a dog-face would give all his pay for your fatigue duty, cracking the innocence of maidens. Attention! You royal guards have nothing to do at night except pluck the rosebuds, while Gilgamesh keeps watch alone. You get all the sleep, and Gilgamesh stays awake.
Poor Gilgamesh. He stays awake all night and never takes his spoils. His nostrils flare no longer.
I didn't enlist to police a gang of bricklayers. An engineering king has turned me into the clerk of the works.
I'll clerk your works. Dress it up now. There was a time when you were glad enough for all that tender meat. It made up for your lack of plunder. But now you're billeted like gentry, and you bitch all day because you're not allowed the common mess. About face!
The common mess is too rich for its broken down hod carriers, while all the military gets is uncooked veal, if the rector doesn't consecrate it first.
You used to say variety is the spice of life.
Not for us. We get the girls, but we're not allowed to fraternize with women. We're always starting over. We take the sting so some farmhand can collect the honey.
Even on archers in this vale of tears, some rain must fall. Half left face. You could try a hunger strike.
Who can resist the flowers of spring? It's a foretaste keeps you ravenous.
Even to me, aged and infirm, it's superhuman how Gilgamesh shies from the world's most undeflowered queen, completely at his mercy.
Now there is a Lord Cheerful Death. Long legs and inborn talent. How can he keep his distance from the Parthenon? I sometimes wonder if he's lost his orchids.
Why a king might want to keep his caste is beyond the understanding of caco-ethical billy goats.
There he goes again, but I guess I can guess what it means.
If Lilith is not his cast, who for God's sake is?
While we work this female city, we'll never know a woman's pity. We take the duty with the burden and settle for the schoolgirl's curtain.
Things began to get out of kilter when Gilgamesh unstepped his iron eagle with its twin thin lips. Without that axe, before long we'll be fighting with our backs to the winding stairs. You need more work on form. To put down a crowd, 9 seconds a shot is much too slow. They've got to be quickly reminded of our feathered wood.
Inside walls, strings don't make good music. You should be leading us in the sword dance.
Swords won't terrify the middle of a crowd. You can talk back after you've learned how to shoot around corners. In the meantime, you've got to improve your range. Step back another yard.
Draw that arrow, knock that string. Lose your shaft and make it sing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to mom to drill some more.
Let's go! Let's go! You're slower than the pole star.
We were young when we followed Gilgamesh down from the north on some vague summons of a night wind to raise the siege of strangers. Nobody can say that the gods didn't warn us. Our shields were too full of holes to float. He led us across the Tigris on wineskins. At first, his whole irrigation district welcomed us like a pantheon of liberators. I thought we'd take home their gold and odorless to boot.
Instead, we smother to death in garrison, while Gilgamesh spends all his time inventing calendars and designing public works. Anyway, what's the tower for? An island for the second coming of their flood? To watch their enemies from afar? Or to see more stars? Well, we can make them tote and stack their bricks, but they won't man it on their own. They think mortals are forbidden to see more than a mile at a time.
Gilgamesh can see near and far without a stepladder. I don't see why you should build a tower for gods that hate it.
You should worry about the military problem.
My military problem is to keep his stormtroopers from getting soft. So by the time he's ready to remount his double bite, you'll still be able to hit a temple door. If you're not up to the mark in a little sport like this, you can't expect to save your pampered skins, all the way home. So there, you have your answer. The tower is a refuge for aging archers against a host of pitchforks.
Why did our proud demented king accept from them their rod and ring? Why pile a mountain on a plain to raise on high Lord Enlil's fame?
Let's secure this piss-poor muster. Don't let me keep you from your bossing. Don't call the roll of masons. Take up your lash. The sooner we top this topless tower off, the better we can hope to return to our lives of honorable violence. Fall out on the double now. Don't keep the labor battalion waiting.
Hurry up, he says. Hurry up and wait.
Yeah, hurry up to have it looking on. Wait for the pace setter.
Well. My elite guard all alert and fresh in the morning dew. A moonstruck nightwalker could surprise them even after sunrise.
A pacer to and turn, up the stairs and down. We fiddle on our foes to pacify this town.
Police duty makes simple soldiers ironical, but you already knew that. Your wide ear takes in from most to least.
Your Cassites have wide mouths.
I confess, they're not cut out for marshaling civilians harmlessly. I'm getting a little stir-crazy myself. It's been 7 years since we've seen a sea rock or real mountain. The sea-land marshes are getting a little bit boring.
Be of good cheer. Hey, you'll soon have foreign intelligence to amuse you. Eber's sons are sailing in from the desert with salt and other cargo.
Begging your pardon, hip hip hooray for all the excitement.
I thought you'd get excited about the failure of your guard to spot their dust before I happen to.
You know I don't have enough men for idle masthead watch.
Oh, well, then be glad of these Ibaru reinforcements.
We don't need a cavalry of merchants. I hope the peace-loving straight-laced camel drivers can defend themselves at least.
They wear short swords under their veils. Ah, here's Aber now. If it weren't for this colleague, dear Norkid, where would all my engineering be? He's factored all the timber and stone, and rafted all the lintels downriver on their own joists.
It was your idea, sir.
And now he's imported our most obscure necessity. Who else would have thought that salt could cure sweatiness in men and skiddiness in cattle? I thought we could dispense with trade once we stocked some soapstone and cedar.
As your humble servants, my sons were everywhere received like magi. Your seal made them wizards of finance. From sea to sea, the name of Gilgamesh opened the door of every counting house in caravanserai.
Oh, my vizier of budgets and accounts is a Catholic statesman.
As your minister, I've refrained from censure of the customs here. Have I not dealt justly with the people?
Oh, yes.
It used to be that no one ever tried to revive a poor man when he lost his life, for the life he lost wasn't worth retaining. Now, he gets hired on at twice his worth, gets his bread at cost, and pays no taxes. And for fallow years to come, have I not filled the granaries by collecting from the rich, while by my hand fixed weights and measures bring confidence to business. Further, sir, no man has found waste nor ostentation in my disbursements from your treasury.
One complaint I've never heard is that the king's comptroller pays any bill too soon, or entertains too lavishly.
Yet even now, as we unload freight for the Commonwealth, the marketplace grows silent with suspicion. Ever since you tied back the rector's hands in favor of my office, and took his tithes for the state, poison has been percolating. Even in the warmest of hearts, there's a cold spot for Aber and his tribe. My job is less than thankless.
You always told me that virtue is its own reward. But call an assembly. I'll proclaim my gratitude for the way you've civilized my laws. the announcement of my project to raise Euphrates to the level of Tigris and give the farmers navigation by canal will be a good occasion to tell all of Ant that it's from you I learned the plan.
Please, my gracious leader, if you value my remaining service or my life, will spare me public honors, especially while informing the people of hydraulic engineering still in store for them.
He's all too right, sir. Don't ignite the sullen sedition in this hag-ridden warren of male women and female men.
But even the stubble shows how good their harvests are. The grain is hung heavy as peas. We've given them bread as well as walls. When I show them how to feed the world, the ox will celebrate mine.
Not if you don't anticipate the treachery of their slithering pope. He decries burgeoning yields as portents of famine, waterways as highroads for the enemy, and architecture as an insult to religion. He has the city festering with them.
Any flare of grievance and the simmer comes to boil.
Against a spider's web, halfway measures always fail. If you don't root out the rector's cult, they'll lay waste all your works the day you die, which may come sooner than necessary. Put down that bawd, disband the College of Whores, pronounce an edict, now.
Am I a petty edictator? Let him be. This is not an ill-bred people. Let's open their eyes, not tear them out. It's not wisdom to call for force against the peace they make for love.
Love? There's no love here for me and mine. The day will come when my posterity can't be saved by the memory of your power. Better that I shake this clay from my feet, right now.
Okay, all right, I hold you to your word. Stay you must a while. Without you here as my diplomatic secretary bird, no kid and I would have been vipered to death before our second year. I've not asked you to put fealty to me above your fear of the whirlwind god, any more than I've asked the rector to forswear his Ishtar. Remember your own words. El Shaddai sometimes uses even Gentile means. His promise of green pastures for your seed will be kept through me, because it is my promise to you to seek and grant them. Well, you know also, I bless your sons, and my offenses against heaven weren't so likely to bring them curses down instead. Meanwhile, let the city reward its faithful purveyors for something other than risk at profit. Take for your own account any 7 camelots, except lumber, stone, or arms. Now, have them bring the new copper to my furnace. Pay the Kassites in gold. It may bolster their confidence in my wisdom. To avoid any needless irritation, have your sons pitch their tents outside the gate.
Sir, you're tempting Providence. What's to stop them from decamping?
Oh, have no fear. Abel will remain with us. From him springs all their motive, while in them lies all his hope. We have a mutual hostage in our alliance. It takes all 3 of us to build up this city.
For whatever time Adonai wills that we remain in league, may we shorten the arm's length that exists between us already. As a token of my accumulated gratitude, you will find in the stables a string of war horses procured by my travelers for your brave phalanx, that until now has had to keep the peace on foot alone.
On fame alone, more like. You know, I have no property to offer you as my thanks, beyond a certain reputation for stout alliance. Your boys can tell us if foreigners have gotten wind of the fact that we grow fewer with age, or that in my absence from action I have become a professor of military sciences, specializing in parades.
Well, with chariots you can dominate the streets.
Come to the hall tonight. I invite all your men and mine, feasting to the limit Gilgamesh allows. I'm afraid there'll be no dancing girls.
We shall discuss harnesses and various routes to the land of milk and honey.